Okay, I wanted to talk about oil prices in the United States. This is nuts. Gasoline is now below $3 a gallon. Just before the election, gasoline was topping $6 a gallon. Two things had happened to make that happen. Number one, Chevron, ExxonMobil, Shell, right across the board, the big oil companies, these giant oil behemoths that hate Democrats and Joe Biden because he's saying to them, no, you can't drill for more oil, and, we're going to talk about taxing you with windfall taxes and all these kind of things. They were all jacking up their profits to the friggin' ceiling. Literally the largest three oil companies in the United States had the largest profits that they had ever had in 100 years. In the last few months, in the last quarter of last year. Why? Because they were trying to hurt Democrats in the elections. Come on, let's just tell the truth about this. I haven't heard that mentioned once. And Louise and I were watching MSNBC for a couple of hours this morning while we were doing show prep. Not one mention anywhere that I can see. So, number one, you got the oil companies. And number two, you've got Russia and MBS, Mohammed Bonesaw. And, these guys got together and said, no, we're going to jack prices up. We're going to jack oil prices up just in time for the election. And Biden said, hey, can you hold off for a month? You're interfering in U.S. domestic politics. He didn't say that, but it was obvious why. And they said, no, we're not going to hold off for a month. This is urgent. Because Mr. Bonesaw and Mr. Putin did not want to see the Democrats in charge of Congress because, very simply, they believed correctly that if the Republicans seized control of both the House and the Senate, they would stop aid to Ukraine. They may still be able to stop aid to Ukraine with control of the House. We'll get into that in more depth in the third hour, but how come this is not being discussed as a political story? The gas prices are now lower than they've been since December of 2021. When, gas prices were $3 a gallon. Why is it not being discussed as politics? It sure seems that way to me.